Kevin Gordon here from Autosavant with your afternoon commute. Before we get into today's news, just a couple housekeeping items. One, Kevin Miller from Autosavant was nice enough to tell me that I attempted to sell a lot of Dramamine yesterday by attaching the GoPro to my head. So we'll go this way from now on. Again, looking to do this 5 days a week. Probably won't, unfortunately, get to it on the weekends, but if anything major happens, maybe we'll pop up and throw a quick video up on the site and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Of course, you can always follow Autosavant at Facebook/Autosavant, at Autosavant on Twitter. My Twitter handle's AutosavantKG. I'm on Google+, but to be honest with you, I haven't really started using it or quite gotten it yet. So what I want to start the day with was, of course, the most intelligent thing in the world, which is giving a plug to another site out there that's on YouTube. For those of you who haven't found it yet, which I'm guessing is not many, but still it's worth pointing out, the Drive network, so YouTube/Drive, is going to be a sort of conglomeration of a bunch of really pretty amazing automotive journalistic talent. And what I wanted to point out specifically was the fact that Chris Harris from Evo magazine, I think, may have revolutionized a new motorsport, which is taking a car with way too much horsepower and putting it on really skinny tires. He takes a new C63 coupe and sticks it on Space Savers, or as we call them in the States, donuts, and goes drifting around a wet track. It's pretty beautiful, well done, and as he says, it really allows you to enjoy a car more than it would if it was really properly equipped with a set of tires. And it brought me to thinking about the fact that during my parents' midlife crisis, they had bought a Miata, this generation, all the features, but still with the soft top. It was really a wonderful car, although it embarrassed the hell out of my wife to park in our driveway. But it needed one of two things, which was either more power or less tire. And all you purists out there can go screw, as far as I'm concerned. The car's underpowered. But if it had significantly less tire, it really would have been a riot to drive. So, wanted to point that out. I'll link the video after this one. And on to the news. So it seems like most of the PR people out there and a lot of the automotive journalists out there are a bit hungover from both the North American International Auto Show and CES. So there wasn't a ton going on today. So I figured I'd take a step back and run through all the things at the auto show that we didn't have the chance to cover, starting with Cadillac and the 2013 Cadillac ATS. The Cadillac ATS is going to be the smallest of the Cadillac sedans, and everything that you read and see and hear about this car manages to include the words BMW 3 Series. You know, ultimately what that makes me realize is the fact that BMW is going to continue to sell quite a few BMW 3 Series. I wish Cadillac would have taken a slightly different approach and just said, we are going to build a driver's car, and this is how we did it, instead of talking about 50-50 weight distribution like the BMW 3 Series and making it lighter than a 3 Series. Good for you, but, you know, the constant pure comparison to BMW, I think, needs to end at some point. And as they always say, you know, imitation's the greatest form of flattery, so I hope BMW's flattered. Looking at the engine lineups for the ATS doesn't give me an enormous amount of faith that they're going to do anything to unseat anybody. There's going to be 3 different engines available, starting with a natural aspirated inline 4, a turbocharged inline 4, as well as a range-topping 318 horsepower V6. So looking into my crystal ball, I really don't think that Cadillac is going to be unseating anybody as they go into next year. I can't even imagine it winning a lot of comparisons as we move into 2013, especially considering the fact that BMW is refreshing the 3 Series. So good luck to Cadillac. we're looking forward to seeing one in real life and potentially driving one. Moving on to Nissan, during the auto show, Nissan released pictures onto the web of the 2013 Nissan Pathfinder, and in the process caused me to throw up a little bit in my mouth. The teaser image that had come out about the Pathfinder, I believe on Facebook earlier last week, really actually looked promising. It had great character lines around the headlight, but it was low and, shot from the front, from an upwards facing angle. In real life, it looks like the unfortunate love child of a Murano and an RX 350. Really, it's a shame. They've also moved away from body on frame platform to a unibody, so fundamentally all they've done is introduced another mid to large size SUV into an already swamped market. I wish them the best of luck, but I don't see it being a huge success, and I can't honestly say that I'm even looking forward to driving one. Finally, in an attempt to end the week on an up note, Ford announced the 2013 Fusion, which looks absolutely gorgeous. It really is beautiful. As hints of their former concept car, and a lot of people are comparing the front end to an Aston Martin, which is potentially one of the most, favorable comparisons you can get out there. Few things look better. The Fusion's going to come with 3 different engine choices, be available in front or all-wheel drive. The engines are going to start with the current 2.4 liter inline-4, and there'll be 2 EcoBoost engine choices, a smaller one, which I think is a 1.6, and then a 2 liter, which will be the sportiest of the choices. In addition, they also announced the Fusion Hybrid, which we've had the chance to drive the current Fusion Hybrid, and in my opinion, it's the least hybrid of all the hybrid cars. In other words, I think if you were driving one every day, you'd actually start to forget that you drove a hybrid car, with the exception of the fact that there's a stupid thing in between the speedo dials that involves leaves growing as you drive more efficiently. But with that being said, it's my pick. If I had to go buy a hybrid car, that would be the one I'd buy. And in this one, they're managing to get 47 miles per gallon in the city and 44 on the highway. That city number is within a mile per gallon of the Prius, which gives up quite a bit to be as efficient as it is. And I don't really think that the Fusion gives up quite as much. So pretty excited about that. The Fusion is now going to be based off of the World platform, which everywhere else is sold as the Mondeo. Good for you, Ford, you're finally off of a Mazda platform. Now if we can only get the Taurus off of a Volvo platform, you'll be really batting 1,000. The ranges are going to lead all the way up to now the Titanium model, which is going to replace the formerly known Sport model. Similar to the Focus. I'm starting to wonder if the F-150 eventually is going to become a titanium model instead of a platinum model, but I suppose that's a different discussion for a different day. And of course, the new Fusion is going to be packed full of tech. It'll have lane departure assist, blind spot assist, the self-parking feature. I'm hoping an improved version of My Ford Touch. Of course, sync. And one thing I didn't see, but I have to imagine will either be there at launch or soon, which is some kind of laser-guided cruise control. I think that the Ford Fusion is going to be one of the few cars as we go into 2013 that's going to actually steal market share back from Kia and Hyundai. Of course, they're all eating into Toyota and Honda's market share, and really looking forward to that thing coming out. So that's the end of the week for the Autosavant afternoon commute video blog. It's been an interesting first 3 days. The microphone comes in for the GoPro this evening, hopefully, so looking forward to Monday's update being a little bit clearer, a little bit easier to understand, and it's been good to talk to everybody. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below, and I will talk to you next week.